Republicans are so worshipful of Donald Trump. They are so dedicated to the prospect of him getting back in office that there is no low too low. There is nothing he can do to dissuade them or push them off of their support for him. Even the most vile things that are reported that he has said, that are really not even being pushed back against by the people who know him best, his surrogates. But some things are just beyond the pale. Some things are just disgusting and disqualifying to be president of the United States of America once again. And one of these items is his just abject disrespect and disregard and contempt for members of the United States military. And this story has all kinds of elements of just what a worthless piece of shit Donald Trump is. Vanessa Guillén was murdered by a fellow soldier, Fort Hood, Texas. 20-year-old private, her entire life ahead of her. And she was buried in a shallow grave alongside a canal or a river and was finally found. And Donald Trump, in another instance of turning a tragedy into a photo op, had her parents out to the White House and promised that he would pay for the funeral. I'm going to read a little bit from this Atlantic article, which has remarkable reporting. The next video is going to be about another element of the reporting in this article that is really unassailable reporting. It is sourced. There are quotes from individuals who are backing it up. It's not just, oh yeah, we're going to make a bunch of stuff up. We're going to make some claims. This is rock solid reporting from this reporter in the Atlantic. Here's the headline. Trump, I need the kind of generals that Hitler had. The Republican nominee's preoccupation with dictators and his disdain for the American military is deepening. Now, we're going to get to all of the Hitler stuff and the Nazi generals that Donald Trump wants. But first, I want to talk, I believe this is more important, is his just disrespect for the individuals who serve in the military, for the people, not for these larger concepts or calling fallen soldiers from nearly 100 years ago or more than 100 years ago losers and suckers. That's bad enough. But we're talking about contemporary instances of him hating on, of being racist against people who volunteered to serve and sacrifice for their country, for the country he leads. Here's the article. Guillén, the daughter of Mexican immigrants, grew up in Houston, and her murder sparked outrage across Texas and beyond. Fort Hood had become known as a particularly perilous assignment for female soldiers, and members of Congress took up the cause of reform. Shortly after her remains were discovered, President Donald Trump himself invited the Guillén family to the White House. With Guillén's mother seated beside him, Trump spent 25 minutes with the family as television cameras recorded the scene. Of course, it's not a private moment between the commander-in-chief of the United States Armed Forces, the president of the United States, and a grieving family of a fallen soldier. No. This was for the television cameras. In the meeting, Trump maintained a dignified posture and expressed sympathy to Guillén's mother. Quote, I saw what happened to your daughter, Vanessa, who was a spectacular person and respected and loved by everybody, including in the military, Trump said. Later in the conversation, he made a promise. If I can help you out with the funeral, I'll help. I'll help you with that, he said. I'll help you out financially. I'll help you. Remember, this was on camera. There were television cameras there. Natalie Kawam, the family's attorney, responded, I think the military will be taking care of it. Trump replied, good, they'll do a military. That's good. If you need help, I'll help you out. Later, a reporter covering the meeting asked Trump, have you offered to do that for other families before? Trump responded, I have, personally. I have to do it personally. I can't do it through the government. The reporter then asked, so you've written checks to help for other families before this? Trump turned to the family, still present, and said, I have, because some families need help. Maybe you don't need help from a financial standpoint. I have no idea what. I just think it's a horrific thing that happened. And if you did need help, I'll be there to help you. That only lasted for a little while. In an Oval Office meeting on December 4th, 2020, officials gathered to discuss a separate national security issue. I'm going to skip down here. At a certain point, according to two people present at the meeting, Trump asked, did they bill us for the funeral? What did it cost? According to attendees and to contemporaneous notes of the meeting taken by a participant, an aide answered, yes, we received a bill. The funeral cost $60,000. Trump became angry. It doesn't cost $60,000 to bury a fucking Mexican. He turned to his chief of staff, Mark Meadows, and issued an order. Don't pay it. Later that day, he was still agitated. Can you believe it? He said, according to a witness, fucking people trying to rip me off. It doesn't cost $60,000 to bury a fucking Mexican, said Donald Trump, President of the United States, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Commander-in-Chief for this fallen soldier. How much does it cost to bury a fucking Mexican, Donald Trump? How much is it going to cost to bury you, Donald Trump? Certainly more than $60,000, but you're worth it. You're a straight, white, rich man, of course. No expense shall be spared on your funeral. This is racist. This is dismissive and disrespectful and contemptuous of military members. And he wants to once again be the commander-in-chief. These details laid out in an article that is featuring his contempt and disrespect for the military. His desire for his generals to be Nazi generals. There aren't enough words. There aren't enough negative epithets directed to Donald Trump to satisfy what is exactly at play here. And in 2 weeks, we're going to find out exactly where the American people stand relative to him being the president again. What do you think? I invite your participation in this conversation. You can comment below. I'd love to hear from you. You can also call, leave me a voicemail, 714-576-4054. I'd love to hear from you there. Or you can email me, daily@dollemore.com. Follow me on social media. I'm at Dollemore just about everywhere. Instagram, Twitter, Threads, TikTok, Facebook, Blue Sky, all of them. I'd love to see you there. And be genuine. Take care of one another.